Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video on Salesforce Bold. Guys, this video is going to relate with some API integration. So in this video, I'll be connecting my Salesforce org with an external weather API application, and using that integration, we'll try to get the current weather based on the selected city. So usually while you are doing these kind of integration, you might be using named credential to store the information like API key, client secret, and all these stuff. In this video also, we'll be using the same. But recently, Salesforce has introduced an improved way to use these name credentials, and the legacy name credentials are deprecated already and it won't be working in the future releases. So Salesforce has introduced name credentials with external credentials. So in this video, I'll show you what are external credentials and how you can use it, how you can add your headers in it. So the API integration, what we are going to do in this video is going to be using external credentials with named credential, and we'll be creating this weather API integration here. So let's start today's video, guys. I'm Kapil, your host, and you're watching Salesforce Bold. Alright guys, let's start today's video. So as I told you already, this is going to be an API integration, and we need to use name credential to store the important information related to our credentials. So in my case, I'll be using name credential to store my API key, because that is the best practice. You should be having all the headers and all these things in your name credentials. Okay. So I was checking out the official documentation around name credential, and in this official documentation, I found this thing. So it says legacy named credentials are deprecated and will be discontinued in a future release, and they did it in winter 23. So if you are also using the legacy name credentials, so I would suggest you to update it with the external credentials. Now let me show you how you can use the external credential. So in this video, I'll be just demoing a small part of it where we will be using just an basic authorization, and the purpose of using this external credentials are so that you can assign separate access using profile and permission sets to different users. Okay. But also, if you are interested in learning all about these name credential and external credential, I'll try to create a separate video related to it where I will try to explain all these functionality. It was a long list, and I believe it was not possible to cover everything in a video. But I'll be sharing the official documentation link in my blog post, which is going to be on salesforcebold.com. So if you want to check the official documentation, so feel free to visit my blog and check it out. So for weather forecast, guys, we'll be using weatherapi.com. So this is a third-party website which will be providing you weather information based on the past city, and it is having few request parameters like current weather forecast. You can get forecast as well, you can get history and all other things, and also there are different callouts which you can make using these weather APIs. For example, if you will see real time, so real time you will be getting last updated temperature in Fahrenheit and all these things. In the same way, we'll be getting the current weather, basically the real time weather as per this application API. So this is just a sample integration. I mean, if you really want to use any other API, the integration process is going to be absolutely same. So just take it as an example. Okay. So first, we need to create a name credential to store this API key, and we need to have the URL as well, the base URL. So if I'll go to getting start, yeah. So this is going to be base URL, and using this URL, you'll be able to pass different parameters. Like if you need to check current weather, then the API method of this is going to be current.json or XML based on your requirement. Forecast, history, there are different methods for different requirement. So first, what we'll do, we'll create an external credential, and why I'm creating an external credential, let me show you. So if we'll go to named credential, and here, if you will click on new, so you will notice a different screen than usual. So here it is asking for an external credential. If you still want to go with legacy one, so you need to click on this drop down, and here you can click on new legacy, and it will show you the standard name credential screen. So this used to be the standard name credential screen, right? but here we will be using the new one. So for that, first we need to create an external credential. So I'll create an external credential. I'll name it weather API credentials, and authentication protocol. You can use OAuth, AWS signature version, and custom. I'll be using custom because I just need to save the API key here, right? Okay, so this is my name credential. Now after that, you have to define a principal for it. So as in principal, let's say I am defining it for admin user, and parameter, I'll be adding my key. So this is my API key here. I'll copy it from here, and here it goes. And the same parameter key you need to add as a custom header as well. So I'll click new. The same way you will be able to add other parameters also if you need to pass, but in this demo, as we need just API key, so that's why I have just created it for API key. Now after creating this external credential, you are good to create a named credential now. So if I'll go to named credential and click new, weather API, and URL, here you need to pass the base URL. So this is going to be the base URL of this API. Enable for callouts, okay. And here I have selected my external credential, and if you are selecting an external credential, you don't need to generate separate headers, because if you have selected your external credential and if you have defined your headers in your external credential, then you don't need to check on this checkbox, you can uncheck it. And yeah, let's keep the default settings for these things. Okay, the URL must be HTTPS. So the name credential is ready. Now you need to provide access to your profile or permission set, right? So in my case, I'll be providing profile level access. So to provide profile level access, you can simply go to settings. Sorry, you can go to your profile basically. So I'll be clicking on my username, then user details, and here I'll be able to see my system admin profile. Here it is. And here in profile, you need to add your external credentials in this section, which is enable external credential principal access. So if you will provide this access, only after that your user will be able to have those external credentials headers. And the same way you can provide permission set access as well. If you can create a permission set, so in the same permission set you can provide this external credential principal access as well. Okay, so now we have provided the access also. Now let's try to create a callout. So for that, I have created a Lightning Web component. My Lightning Web component name is weather API, and in my meta component, in my meta XML file, I have just added it for a Lightning app page. Okay, and also I have created a Apex here. So let's start with Apex. So first we need to create an Aura enabled method. So I'll do Aura enabled, and here let me remove try and catch, we don't need it. The string should be fine, and let's add weather, and it should accept city name. Okay, so I'll create HTTP request quickly. HTTP request, set endpoint. Now here I have to use my name credential. So the way of using the name credential is still same. You can simply use callout, then name of your name credential. In my case it was weather API, Okay, now we have to use the specific method. So I'll be showing you the current weather in this application. So I'll be using this current weather. So this is going to be slash current.json. Okay. And here we'll be passing the city name in query. So I'll make it dynamic like this, city. Okay, now request dot set method, it is going to be a get request. Now we'll get the response. And here it goes. And we will just return the body of this request method. So this is the apex what we'll be using. Okay, and now quickly let's move to LWC. So in LWC, guys, I'm planning to create a input which will be accepting city name, and there will be a button as well to hit the request, and on the click of that button it will show us the weather. Okay, so let's quickly create a lightning card first, just to give this example a good heading. Weather APIs. Okay, now I'll create my input, and first I'll give some padding. I'm using medium padding here. Lightning input. Search city. Okay. Now I will add my button here. Lightning button. Get weather, and we'll create on click also. Let's name it button click. Okay. Okay, this should be fine. And we need these two functions here as well. So this is handle on change, buttons click. Okay, so this is the basic structure of my component. Now here I need to import that method as well. So I'll do import get weather. Oh, nice. So this autocomplete has already added the method name here. Okay, this is fine. Now on this buttons click, I'll be calling my apex, and I'll try to get weather. Okay, let me deploy this thing first and see the output. Okay, now let me open my application. On my application also, I have already added a separate section and added this empty component there. So this is my section weather APIs, and here you can see search city and get weather button is there. I need to add a BR here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now we'll be passing city from here, and on this get weather click, it will be sending the city name to the apex class, and then apex will return the body, which will be having an output which will contain the weather condition of that specific city. So for that, what we can do is first we need to store city name. So for that, we'll be having city here. Okay, and on this handle change this dot city equals to event dot target dot value to get the value of this handle on change. Now on this buttons click, we'll call the get weather function, and here I'll add my city. Okay, this dot city. Okay, I'll just add a console log right now to print the response. Okay, this should be fine. Let's add an error block as well. In here I will just have my error. Okay, so as a basic structure it's good. We should be able to test it out. I'll deploy it quickly. Okay, so I'll reload it. Okay, now here let me open my console as well, because we have added a console and the response will be displayed over console. So as a city, let's say I'm adding Jaipur. I'll click on get weather and you can see the response here. So in this response we are getting multiple parameters like location Jaipur, region Rajasthan, country, latitude, longitude. There are so many parameters here. Okay, but for this demo we'll be using the conditions, where we'll be getting the text of this weather condition and icon of this weather condition. So we'll be just displaying an icon over the layout and the weather text. Okay, so for that we need an image here. So here what we can do is we can simply use an image, and this URL, let's make it dynamic because it will be returning different images based on the weather condition and the city selected. And here also let me add another parameter which can display the condition. Okay, now on the JavaScript side also I'll be adding the same parameter, condition and image URL. Okay, now from this response we need to get the condition and the image URL as well. So for that I'll just take it in a literal first. I'll do json.parse response. Okay, now this dot image URL parse data. So it was coming from this condition node, if you will see here. So this is a condition node in this parse data, and in this condition node we need to get the icon. Okay, and this condition node is also coming in this current parent node, so we need to do current dot condition dot icon and dot text. So here I will do current dot condition dot icon and this dot condition parse data dot current dot condition dot text. So these will be the two parameters which we'll be using. Okay, now let me save it quickly. And also, in case of error, let's say if you're entering any city which is not available, so in that case we'll just display the error message as a condition here, and I'm entering the manual message here. You can make it dynamic as well. No matching location found. Okay, let's deploy it. Okay, I'll close this log, I'll refresh it, and I will enter my city now, get weather, and here you can see the image is also getting generated. It is showing the weather condition as light rain. Let's try to change the city. For example, Delhi. Delhi, the condition is missed here. I'll check the weather in my hometown as well. Okay, patchy rain possible in my hometown. Nice. And instead of city, if you will enter state also, it will display you the overall weather of that state. For example, if I'll enter Rajasthan, so it will show me light rain, and the same way you can choose any other city as well. For example, I'm not sure if this is the correct spelling. Yes, it is correct spelling. At Hyderabad also it is light rain showers. And let's say if you will enter any, if you misspell the city name or enter any city which doesn't exist, for example, I'll enter ABCD. So it will show you no matching location found because this city doesn't exist. So yep, so this was the integration using a weather API external application. You can consider this example as a mini project as well. If you're getting any mini project for a college or for university, you can create this kind of weather application in which you can, get the weather info from an external application and show it over your Lightning Web Component or in the Salesforce org, right? So that it is for today, guys. As always, I'll be having complete code on my blog, which is salesforcepol.com. So in case if you need the complete code, you can simply visit my blog and get the code from there. So if you like today's video, guys, subscribe to the channel will be awesome. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.